The Moline Maroons make the 90-minute commute to Peoria again. It's their third trip to state in the last 4 years. They face 29-2 Homewood-Flossmoor. Roy Condotti's Vikings back at state for the first time in 19 years. Two teams are in, two more teams advance to Saturday's semifinals here tonight in the Class AA boys basketball quarterfinals. And it's another top 10 matchup here tonight. Hello, I'm Lee Hall. Welcome to Carver Arena in downtown Peoria. We've got number 9 Moline against number 3 Homewood-Flossmoor. The winner will move on to tomorrow's second semifinal for the call of tonight's third quarterfinal game. Let's go to Tom Stocker and Bill Hitt.
All right, Lee, thank you very much. Here in this quarterfinal game, you've got the great program at Moline, where they've not been able to get past the Elite Eight since that format began in 1956. Meanwhile, Roy Condotti has brought a second team to the Elite Eight. He brought Westinghouse down. Now Homewood-Flossmoor. Bill, an interesting game ahead.
Yeah, you know, this morning we saw some up-tempo basketball. We're going to see a little up-tempo today, but both of these teams rely on their defense.
Let's take a look at the tough roads to Peoria for both these teams. First of all, for the Vikings of Homewood-Flossmoor, look at that field that they had to beat to get here. Chicago Heights-Bloom, one of the toughest teams in the southern suburbs. Joliet, that was a battle of three-point shots. Then they outlasted Rich Central for the sectional championship, and then winning at the United Center over Thornton, 41-36 to gain a berth in the Elite Eight. Meanwhile, for Moline, a win over rival Rock Island in the regional finals. Then in the sectional semis, a win over Sycamore. Tough Rockford Boylan beat them by 12 in the sectional finals, and they earned a berth here by winning the Rockford Super Sectional, beating Prairie Ridge 58-45. We're going to see some great guard play in this first game here this evening. First of all, for Homewood-Flossmoor, Excel Hardy. He has excelled from outside the arc.
Yeah, he certainly has. On a very balanced team, he may be the go-to guy, averaging over 15 points a game, and he likes to hit the big shots.
Meanwhile, for the Moline Maroons, they've got maybe one of the more athletic people you'll see on the floor this whole day, Wesley McCorkle. He's all over the floor.
He's a mirror image of Excel Hardy's, averaging over 16 points a game, and he is also able to step up and hit those big shots.
Now, as for what the teams have to do to be successful here in this contest tonight, first of all, for Homewood-Flossmoor, Bill, what do you think their keys to success are?
Well, you know, they love to get the ball inside and go to the glass. They're going to look to score early and often from the paint. They take pride in their defense. They don't want to give up any easy looks to the Moline scorers, and they have a lot of senior leadership, so they're going to look for them to establish some intensive offense and defense.
Now for the Maroons of Moline, Bill, they've got to get that ball inside.
Well, you know, they're giving up a lot of inches and pounds in the paint. They're going to have to limit Homewood-Flossmoor's second shot basket, but they might be a little bit quicker. So if they can pressure the perimeter, that might make it a little bit more difficult for Homewood to get it inside. Lastly, they have to play with a lot of poise, because you know that they're going to be times where they're going to have to take that ball out.
All right, so fasten your seatbelt, folks. Here we go. One more semifinal berth is at stake. Homewood-Flossmoor against Moline. Coming up, we'll meet both the teams after we hear from your local stations. Welcome back to Carver Arena. Quarterfinal game number 3. The Vikings of Homewood-Flossmoor, the Maroons of Moline. Only 4 losses combined for these two fine squads. Let's take a look at the location of our two schools here in quarterfinal game number 3. Moline over there in the Quad Cities on the mighty Mississippi River, while Homewood-Flossmoor in the south suburban Chicago area, both coming about the same distance to wind up here at Carver Arena. As you take a look, the arena filling up, then the two cities, well, Flossmoor. Well, Flossmoor's 8,000. Homewood's 20,000. Moline over 43,000 from Rock Island County. Meanwhile, Homewood-Flossmoor, again in the south suburbs of Cook County. The enrollments, Homewood-Flossmoor, about 300 more. And the conferences, 2 great basketball conferences historically, the Sika East and Moline out of the Western Big Six, one of the legendary conferences in Illinois high school basketball. All right, let's meet the squads here in this quarterfinal battle. And to introduce them to you at home and to the folks here in the arena, here is Paul Herzog.
Good evening, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association, the City of Peoria, welcome to America's original March Madness for Class AA boys. This quarterfinal game features the Homewood-Flossmoor Vikings 29-2 and the Moline Maroons 28-2. Before we meet the starting lineups, we ask you to please stand for a moment of silence to reflect on our freedom and to remember the men and women of the armed forces serving us around the world. Thank you, and thank them. And now to honor America. Please remove your caps and address the flag with your hand over your heart as a guest soloist, senior from Palatine Friend High School, Tom Vedafreddo, sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now let's meet the teams for this quarterfinal contest. For the Vikings of Homewood-Flossmoor, the 6'1" junior guard, number 10, DJ Posley. The 5'7" junior guard, 11, Ronell Robinson. 6-foot senior, the guard, 12, Brian Essig. The 6'3" senior guard, 20, Neil Trainer. 6'2" senior forward, 24, Reggie Brown. 6'5" junior forward, 34, Dan Selvey. 6'6" junior center, 40, Dominic Baker. 6'2" senior center, 42, Paul Hobson. 6'5" senior center, 50, Tim Johnson. 6'3" senior forward, 54, Mitchell Hayes. Now let's meet the Maroons of Moline. 5'10" junior guard. 4, Kyle Wood. 5'9" sophomore guard. 10, Andrew Natsis. 6'3" junior guard forward. 11, Corey Turner. 6'4" senior guard forward. 12, Jamie Hallstrom. 6'4" sophomore forward center. 22, Brandon Carlton. 5'11" junior guard. 24, Matt Hollenbach. 6' junior guard forward. 30, Kevin Ryan. 6'3" junior forward. 32, John Hammer. 6'4" sophomore forward center. 44, Joey Thorngren. And a 6'4" senior forward center, James Durkee. Now let's meet the starting lineups for this quarterfinal contest. For Homewood-Flossmoor, at a forward, a 6'8" junior. 30, Julian Wright. At a forward from Moline, a 6'4" senior. 34, Jordan Salmonson. The other forward for the Vikings, a 6'6" senior. 35, Brian Nussbaum. The other forward for the Maroons, a 6'4" sophomore. 40, Paul Byer. At center for Homewood-Flossmoor, 6'8" senior. 44, Cyrus Tate. At center for Moline, a 6'9" senior. 52, Kyle Lassick. The guards for the Vikings, a 6' senior. 4, Excel Hardy. And a guard from Moline, a 5'11" junior. 14, Justin Yount. The other guard for Homewood-Flossmoor, 6'1" junior. 32, Freddie Barnes. The other guard from Moline, a 5'11" senior. 20, Wesley McCorkle. 18 years of coach, 9 at Homewood-Flossmoor, a record of 155 and 89. Roy Kandati. Assistant coaches, Jim McLaughlin, Dwayne Van Slyke, Ken Ridgway, Trey Allen, Dana Noble, and Mark Kandati. 24 years in coaching, 10 at Moline, a record of 211 and 77. Frank Dexter. Assistant coaches, Derek Lindauer, Dennis Kerscheter, Darren Mazzari, and Tony Ledbetter.
All right, you've met the teams again, the starting lineups in this quarterfinal game. First of all, on the Homewood-Flossmoor side, you've got Hardy and Barnes, along with Nussbaum, Cyrus Tate, Julian Wright. For Moline at the guards, you've got Byer and Yount, and you got McCorkle, Lassick, and Salmonson. And we are set for basketball. We have our traditional ceremonial opening toss, Joy Anderson. Promotion Public Affairs Manager for the Peoria Journal-Star. And what a job that publication has done in embracing this event after it moved here to Peoria from Champaign, and a big reason for its success here at Carver Arena on the banks of the Illinois River. Coach, what do you expect early in this one?
You know, I think both of these teams are going to just kind of feel each other out. They're both very sound defensively. They match up pretty well, although I have to see the quickness of Homewood-Flossmoor inside, how Moline handles that. George
Casper, the referee. And off the break, there's McCorkle right to the hoop, and he gets him on the board. That didn't take very long, huh?
No, just kind of caught Homewood-Flossmoor looking on that one.
Here's Brian Nussbaum. Out at the point, Freddie Barnes. Man-to-man defensively for Moline. Pulling up, Julian Wright. And the rebound, Justin Yount.
So a lot of white shirts turning and screening their men out. You know they're going to be focused on keeping Homewood-Flossmoor off the offensive boards.
Now we'll see Moline's half-court offense for the first time. Salmonson can't get clear. And here is McCorkle. Salmonson, very athletic. Has good upper body strength as well. Top of the key, the sophomore Byer won't hit. He's their main outside threat. And into the front court for Homewood-Flossmoor, Julian Wright. Oh, he slides inside but can't score.
Very few kids at this level can rebound and bring the ball up and do something good with it. Julian Wright is one of those players.
Well, he's considered the top junior in the state of Illinois this year. Salmonson, long on the shot, and only one crack at it for Moline. Excel Hardy with it for the first time. Well, there's some quickness there. Hardy and Yount for three. Good. Julian Wright, who hit 12 on the year, give him 13, and a 3-2 lead for Homewood-Flossmoor.
Flossmoor came out with an odd front zone press and trapped in the front corner. Maybe just giving them a different look, trying to speed it up a little bit.
That's Lassick, their 6'9" pivot man. And now Wesley McCorkle. Give it on a high post. Nice cut, but Yount's shot is blocked by Wright. And here come the Vikings. Nussbaum inside. Out to the free throw line. Nothing but net for Cyrus Tate.
You know, both of these teams, Tom, have great offensive and defensive balance. They're unselfish. They distribute the ball really well.
The pass wide and a turnover. Common opponents this year. One of the two losses for Moline came early in the season to Thornton, 73-48. Both teams beat Rich South. Both teams with victories over Rockford Boylan. A 5-2 lead for the Vikings, and they've got the basketball. Excel Hardy, watched there by Yount. Now Nussbaum defended by Byer. And they want to reset the half-court offense. Top of the key, Julian Wright, no. Offensive rebound. It rims off for Tate. Another offensive board up and in. Freddie Barnes.
Three shot attempts on one possession. They got to keep them off the boards.
7-2, a 5-point lead.
You know, unlike our earlier game where Simeon lived and died with that press, Homewood is just trying to slow the tempo down a little bit.
The shot rejected by Cyrus Tate. A 5-point lead for the Vikings. Curling down inside, Julian Wright forced a bad pass. Hardy comes up with it. The shot rims off. Saved by the Maroons. Here's Yount. Over it goes to the sophomore, now to the corner, Salmonson. And again, no offensive rebounding there for Moline.
No.
Nussbaum trying to draw the foul, but he gets the shot to go. He averages 7.5 points a game, and it's a 9-2 lead for Homewood-Flossmoor halfway through the first quarter. Boy, is Flossmoor quick bidding back defensively.
Yeah, they do a great job on that.
This kid can shoot if he gets hot. Paul Byer missing. He's 0 for 2 from the field. And again, only one shot each trip down.
Tom, Moline needs to push the ball and look for something, and if not, then they need to run a better offense than they're doing in the first few minutes.
Just inside the arc, the long shot no good for Julian Wright. Here's Yount on the run. He's quick. Follow up by McCorkle.
A lot of athletic play on that. Nice follow-up by McCorkle. That's what you teach kids, to trail the play, be ready for the rebound. Moline's going to a zone right now.
Try to perhaps neutralize that height inside. Hardy missing from outside. Offensive rebound, no. He put a shoulder. Tate put a shoulder into Yount, and Tate picks up the foul. A 9-4 Homewood-Flossmoor lead with 3:07 to go in the opening quarter in our third quarterfinal game. We've been talking about how quality of a field this Elite Eight has been. Fourth best ever in AA. Combined records of all 8 schools. 228 wins, only 21 losses. And for the first time in the IHSA history, all of the teams in the Elite Eight finished in the Associated Press top 16. Only one of them, Hoffman Estate's, not in the top 10. A quality field that's being whittled in half by the end of today's action. Wesley McCorkle as he works against Freddie Barnes. There's the sophomore Fire. He's still trying to find his shot.
That was a set play after the timeout to get him a look, and he was squared up, had a good look, just couldn't sink it.
Barnes missing on the shot. Salmonson out-muscles him for the rebound. Gets it out to Yount. Over it goes to Fire, but he's quickly turned aside by Nussbaum.
And Moline likes to push the ball, and what they've done early is they've pushed it and then settled for some quick shots when they didn't have a break. They need to get down there and run a set offense, and it looks like that's what they're doing now.
Here's Yount, shot blocked, and the loose ball, Cyrus Tate. The height advantage for Homewood-Flossmoor and the jumping ability, especially of Tate, a huge factor early in this basketball game.
Looking at a little 1-2-2 zone here from Moline. They want to see if Homewood-Flossmoor can consistently score from the perimeter.
Wright denied, but he gets it outside. Nussbaum from the left baseline. And a strong rebound taken out of there by the sophomore, Paul Byer. Who doesn't play like a sophomore, folks. When I saw him in the Super Sectional Tuesday, he plays with a poise at Peliza's young age. McCorkle out front. On the high post of the center, Lassick. McCorkle missing badly from outside. And here comes Nussbaum on the break. Up ahead. And Freddie Barnes didn't quite have the shot he wanted, but he got it to go in off the glass. An 11-4 lead. And finishing up the secondary break there was Kyle Lassick. He averages only 5.3 points a game, but they needed that bucket there.
Yeah, they really did a nice breakout on that. Got the ball up before Homewood could set up their press.
And a strong rebound yanked out of there by Yount. And it's going to be out of bounds to Homewood-Flossmoor.
You know, one of the big question marks was, could Moline rebound with Homewood-Flossmoor? So far, the answer is yes. They've just made some poor decisions on their shot selection.
Barnes and Nussbaum are out for the Vikings. Neil Traynor has come in, along with the 6'3 senior Mitchell Haynes. Under a minute. No shot clock in high school basketball. And the team behind doesn't have to press the action. Oh, we saw that in the second game today. Farragut against Peoria Central, where Farragut held the ball for over 5 minutes in the second quarter without taking a shot.
That was a little bit unusual, Tom, to say the least.
Oh, you're being kind.
They did score at the buzzer, though.
All right, with 10 seconds, you'd figure they'd get something in motion. Tate, yes. Cyrus Tate averages 11 points a game. He's got 4. Still time for the Maroons. Yount, nope, at the buzzer. At the end of a quarter, Homewood-Flossmoor has more than doubled the Maroons. This IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Apt Electronics and Appliances. For the largest selection of electronics and appliances at the best possible price, visit Apt in Glenview. Now let's hear from your local stations.
So far, so good. So good.
And welcome back to Carver Arena in downtown Peoria. Homewood-Flossmoor, the 13-6 lead. We're with Brian Nussbaum's father, Mike. Mr. Nussbaum, we said before the game, come and talk to me when things are going well. Things are going pretty good here for you in the early going.
So far, so good. The boys really came out and played real hard and keeping the whole energy up. It's been great.
Your son's been on the varsity for 3 years. You said this is the year they've been pointing to.
They've been talking about this since really they were freshmen. They've had a lot of talent on the team, and they knew that if they stayed healthy, played hard, and listened to their coach, they'd be here tonight.
They always block shots like this?
They really do. They've been blocking shots all tournament. It's been amazing. There are some great athletes on that team.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Good luck to you. Back to you.
All right, the shot missed by Mitchell Hayes and Justin Yount. We'll bring it up court for the Maroons. Working off a high screen. Just a little reach around by right was enough to break up the dribble there from Yount, and they'll put it in bounds again.
You know, he's an awful long kid, so when he steps out to reach around, it's a long reach.
Roy Condotti, no stranger to the Elite Eight. That at Westinghouse in 9 years. Now in his 9th season, he's got the Vikings. He brings his second team into the Elite Eight. Here's Byer. Now Yount. McCorkle. They have kept him quiet thus far. McCorkle double pumps. A little too strong. Tip out rebound. Excel Hardy. Up ahead. Oh, it almost went in on an athletic play for Wright. But here come the Maroons. Salmonson pulls up over the iron. Nothing.
You know,
and you can tell Moline's trying to press it just a little bit.
You know, it's sometimes when you can't get that first jump shot to go in, it just gets harder and harder.
It's kind of like being in quicksand. You know, the harder you try, the deeper you get. Cyrus Tate can't hit it, and the rebound right to the hands of Kyle Lassick.
You know, I don't think either team so far has really worked hard to get a good shot. Homewood has hit some big shots, but not really as part of their offense.
Yount forced back outside, and they'll reset the half-court attack. Man-to-man defense from the Vikings. They'll double up every once in a while there on the guard on the wings. Salmonson. And you're seeing a lot of opportunities when the Maroons have the ball. The man with the ball really is having to take 2 or 3 looks to find somebody.
Homewood-Flossmoor is doing just a really great job of putting pressure on the ball and help side defense. They're taking away all the lanes to the basket, maybe a little bit quicker than Moline on the perimeter to keep them out of the paint.
Here's Byer, the sophomore. Missed everything, forcing up the right-hander, and it's out of bounds to Homewood-Flossmoor. And right now on the 8 cylinders for the Maroons are hitting on about 3.
Yeah, you know, and again, I think we will give a little bit of credit to Homewood-Flossmoor for their defensive pressure on the ball. They're just, again, they're stopping any kind of dribble penetration, and Moline's doing a lot of standing around.
Now Homewood-Flossmoor has held 21 of their 31 opponents this year to 50 points or less this season. An amazing statistic. Their defense probably hasn't gotten enough notice like the offensive exploits for the Vikings.
Well, you know, Roy Condotti has always been an excellent coach, and he takes a lot of pride in defense, and I think he's put that same pride, instilled that in his players this year.
The shot rims out. Strong offensive board for Wright. It goes, count it, and he'll go to the line and shoot for 3.
You know, that was one of the few times Moline did get a body on him, and he just did a great job going up and getting it and putting it back in.
Brandon Carlton got the foul. Just the first foul for the Maroons. Only 2 fouls have been called so far in this basketball game. Julian Wright, 50% free throw shooter, and you can kind of see why.
You know, he started to move before he shot that.
They got the numbers, and the spin goes in on the break for Carlton. The sophomore comes through with a big bucket. Boy, if that one had spun off.
Well, you know, sometimes before you hit those jump shots, when they're not dropping, those layups the rim starts to get small on you, even on those. They did a nice job on that breakout, though.
7-point lead for Homewood-Flossmoor. They skip it over the top to Excel Hardy. Top of the key, Trainer. Offensive rebound, Hardy. Nice left-hander, but no, off the heel. And in the battle for a rebound, we get our third foul of the game. It's going to go on Paul Byer. The sophomore gets his first. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. The Vikings leading the Maroons 15-8 as we hear from our network sponsors. And we welcome you back to Peoria. Well, I tell you what, right now, neither team shooting particularly well in this game, Bill. 30% shooting for the Vikings, 22% right now. Moline 4 of 18.
Yeah, when that happens, you blame it on a couple of things. One, a little bit of extra adrenaline from a big game. Two, some pretty good defense being played, and three, just maybe taking some bad shots.
Moline, who's been a good, or at least an average three-point shooting team, 36%, 0 for 6 thus far from outside the arc. Mitchell Hayes will inbound it for Homewood-Flossmoor. And the Maroons sitting back in his zone defense right now, trying to help neutralize that interior. Julian Wright. Now they find Hardy. A three for Hardy. Spins around and out. Offensive board for Cyrus Tate. Here's Neil Trainer, and he'll reset it. Halfway through the second quarter, 4 minutes remaining. Nothing but net for Mitchell Hayes. His first 2 of the ball game. He averages just under 6 points a contest.
That was a very nicely done offensive sequence.
Nearly stolen by the Vikings, but they saved it right into McCorkle. He is stripped of the ball by Julian Wright. Nice job defensively by Lassett getting back underneath the hoop, but a foul called on Moline. And it's going to be number 2 on Brandon Carlton, 3rd overall on the Maroons.
You know, you can look at Julian Wright and see the obvious athletic ability. But right there, what great court vision. Made a big play, stole the ball. The first thing he did is look up the court and threw a great pass up court for what could have been a layup.
Tim Johnson, who usually spells Tate, does that now, number 50, in the game for the first time for the Vikings. Also back in now, Freddie Barnes. He has it on the point. Homewood-Flossmoor very patient around the perimeter of this zone. Here's Julian Wright. Nothing but the bottom of the net. His second 3. He's got 8.
Quick turnover on his own press.
Nussbaum missed badly, but it didn't go out of bounds. And a held ball called. Tim Johnson had it in there along with Salmonson. The alternate possession arrow will give it to the Maroons of Moline. Homewood-Flossmoor winning 2 good tournaments, especially my alma mater, Proviso West, winning the holiday tournament. In that particular holiday tournament, in the semis, boy, did they do a number on Glenbrook North and John Shire.
Well, they have the ability to make a lot of good teams look bad because of their quickness and size.
They held Shire to 2 of 14 from the field in that game. 2.5 minutes remaining. Deflected. Nussbaum had it. He's tripped as Byer did what he could to stop the breakaway basket.
Yeah, I don't even think he did that intentionally. Just kind of took a step and tied up their feet.
Moline, meanwhile, enjoyed the holidays, at least Thanksgiving, back at home, winning their own holiday tournament. A 12-point lead for the Vikings of Homewood-Flossmoor. They're in the red. Moline wearing the whites.
You know, Homewood-Flossmoor so far has done a lot of very good things, little things defensively.
Going inside was Johnson against Lassick. And it's going to go to Homewood-Flossmoor. Watch that again inside. Let's see exactly what happened.
You know, they called a jump ball on that time. He said he got up, got both hands. That's a good call. He had his hand on top of the ball, came down, and that's the proper call on that play.
So the Vikings get it in the alternate possession. Johnson can't hang on to it. Taken away by Salvinson. And here comes Wesley McCorkle. He's been held to a couple of buckets so far in this game. Take a look. Neither team shooting very well in this contest. Here's McCorkle looking for three, and he gets it. That's his 44th of the year. He's got 7 of their 11 points.
You know, that might just get the monkey off his back.
That might loosen him up a bit. Nussbaum down on the block against Lassick. And it's going to go out of bounds. Still Vikings basketball. Trying to get a little steal from the weak side there was Carlton.
You know, he did. He put the ball down with his back to the basket. And more bad things than good things happen when you do that.
And you tell them, and they still do it. Time and time again, the big guys. They want to turn into Marcus Haynes inside suddenly. Under a minute and a half now for the first half. The winner will meet the winner of our upcoming game between West Aurora and Hoffman Estates. And that'll complete the Final Four for tomorrow's semifinals. Carbondale and Peoria Central will play in the first semi. And the winner of tonight's 2 quarterfinal games meet in the second semifinal. Under a minute now. Julian Wright, who played on the same summer AAU team as John Shire. Unable to save it was Barnes. Wright thought Barnes was back on the wing, but Barnes moved inside. Barnes tried to save it, but couldn't. And the Maroons will have it with just under 48 seconds to go. Yount comes back in for Moline as he replaces Carlton.
You know, let's see what he does with this. Sometimes down 9, the temptation is not to wait for the last shot. Sometimes it is, you know, where you want to hit a basket and maybe cut that lead. Get a little bit momentum going into the halftime. Looks like that's maybe what Moline will be doing. Nope.
McCorkle looking for 3, but it won't go. And Julian Wright the rebound with 30 seconds to go. That could have been a big shot. Could have brought him within 6. Now once again the Vikings with a chance to take the last shot of the half.
Moline's going back into that zone. They're just going to contest the last shot, not give him a good look.
Nussbaum to the baseline. Here is Julian Wright. Tracked down by Excel Harding, but he lost it. Yount's got it. And he was indecisive and no chance for a shot there at the buzzer for the Maroons. The end of the first half here in this quarterfinal round game. Homewood-Flossmoor leading by the score of 20-11 as they outscored them 7 points in that quarter. Let's take them now and head over to our colleague Lee Hall.
All right, Tom, thanks a lot. Coach, defensively, you really shut them down, but neither team really had a great first half offensively.
Well, very happy with our defense. Just, you know, we're just not sharing the ball like we usually do offensively. We've got to move the ball and move the people, and we're not doing that right now. So that's what we'll talk about at halftime.
Yeah, you weren't, didn't seem real pleased there the last minute or so of the first half.
Not at all.
What did they do that you didn't like?
Well, we know we should be executing better at the end of the ball game, and we had you know, you have the lead in the ball, and we know the kind of shot we're supposed to take, and we didn't get the ball to the spots we wanted to get the ball to. Just that simple.
Okay, good luck to you second half, Coach. All right, Tom, back to you.
All right, Lee, thank you very much. Halftime with Homewood-Flossmoor, a 9-point lead. Coming up, our halftime festivities from Peoria after we hear from our network sponsors.
Von Mansfield, Lee Hall, how are you?
Pretty good. My knees there.
And welcome back to Carver Arena in downtown Peoria. It's Homewood-Flossmoor with the 20-11 halftime lead. We are with the gentleman large and in charge at their high schools, Gary Keller of Moline High School. The Maroons back here. Boy, you've got a rich tradition going back to the 30s, 40s, and 50s, but not much luck coming down here to state recently. This is the 3rd time in the last 4 years. You guys got to get a win and a trophy out of this one of these days, don't you?
Well, I think there's a whole community that shares that sentiment. I mean, we've done a great job of getting here. We're an Elite 8 team. We work hard. We're proud of these kids. We would love to win a game down here, but obviously you're an Elite 8 company. It's hard, tough as the score shows tonight. We're awfully proud of our guys. They play hard all year. We expect that coming out of the locker room the second half as well.
All you have to do is look at the other end of the arena to find out what kind of support you get at Moline High School.
Our town travels very well. Our city travels well. Tickets are always an issue whenever as we progress in the tournament trail, and this year certainly no exception. We have great fans, and basketball is a rich tradition in Moline, as you mentioned.
Tell us what else we should know about Moline High School. What other kind of programs, sports and otherwise, that you have going on that make you proud?
Well, I think that's the essence of a good high school. We're proud of our diversity at the high school. We have a great fine arts program. Our music program is always in the top 10 in the state. We've got great fine arts productions. The community follows those as well, too. So we're very proud of a lot of kids, our 20 sports, and we just think we have a lot to offer at Moline and the community. It's always important in the community of Moline. 128th year in the city of Moline, and so it matters a lot in Moline, and we like that.
Right across the river from my old school, St. Ambrose.
Yes, we are. It's nice to see you. Thank you for having us.
Nice to see you. Von Mansfield from Homewood-Flossmoor. You got a great contingent here, too.
Well, you know what? We have a couple fan buses and a lot of kids and a whole bunch of parents, so we're happy to have the fans here.
Tell us about Homewood-Flossmoor High School. You guys are a little bit south of Chicago, and, dunderheads like me from Central Illinois that don't really know where you're from. I did a little research, kind of that you play against Thornwood and Thornridge, that area, those great basketball programs up in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah, we're probably about 25 miles from downtown Chicago in the south suburban area, and we have a tremendous conference. In fact, I think Moline played against one of the teams in our conference, Thornton, earlier in the year, and it was a hard-fought battle to get here through Thornton and, Ritz Central and Bloom High School, which have perennially had outstanding programs.
Tell me about Homewood-Flossmoor High School. What else is going on there these days that is of interest as far as other programs, sports and otherwise?
Well, you know what? We're a very well-established high school with a lot of tradition. We're very proud to be a 3-time Blue Ribbon high school. Even as we speak, our contest play and group and terp is competing for the state finals as well. So we're wishing them good luck along with our athletic teams, especially here on the basketball court.
All right, Dr. Mansfield, thanks for coming to Peoria.
Thank you for having us.
Good luck to you. Back with more from Carver Arena, more halftime festivities after this local break.
A score at halftime, 20-11, would make you think this was a very slow-paced game, but it's been anything but. It's been some exceptional defense played on both ends, and Bill, this one certainly is anybody's game. But you take a look that so far at the halftime, neither team shooting very well, and both teams right now living on their defense.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job defensively, but unfortunately they're having a hard time putting the ball in the basket. Look at the field goal percentage, 9 for 29, 5 for 20. 3-point range, neither one can find the basket.
If my figuring is correct, Homewood-Flossmoor out-rebounded Moline 13-0 in the second period. Meanwhile, Homewood-Flossmoor in the second quarter went 3 of 13 from the field. Other scores, turnovers are even. An edge on some of the defensive statistics, blocks and steals, and really not a very foul-laden ball game. And low scorers. Wright leading with 5. Tate and Nussbaum tied each with 4. Wesley McCorkle a couple of threes. He's got 7, but not much else in scoring support. It's almost like Homewood-Flossmoor is saying, let's go ahead and let McCorkle get his points and shut down the rest of the team if we can.
I think that might be true. On the other hand, both teams are really doing a poor job of being patient offensively. They're down here, they're excited, they're taking the first good look rather than being a little bit more patient, getting a better look.
All right, with the head coach of the Moline Maroons, Nope, we're not with the head coach. We have some other special coming your way from Lee Hall. Lee.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. We're back with Gary Keller, the principal at Moline, and it's kind of old home week every weekend at the state tournament. Introduce these gentlemen and tell me why they're special to you.
These are some good guys from Pearl City, great athletes up in the northwest corner of the state, good friends of mine, and perennial attenders here at the basketball tournament. We have Scott Buck here, we have Bob Evans, and we have Harold Buck. Great friends of mine. They were great athletes, faster than they look, faster than you'd guess. We all played together on the same team.
Pride of Pearl City.
We like to think so, yeah.
All played together.
All right, this is what it's all about, getting back together and having a good time here at March Madness. Back with more from Carver Arena after this local break. Don't go away.
And welcome back as we're getting near the end of the first half of halftime here with the second half coming up. Homewood-Flossmoor a 9-point lead as we take a look at some of the action from the first half. And Bill, right off the bat, you saw that quick opening bucket by Moline, but that would be their last highlight for a while.
Yeah, you know, they got that quick basket, and then it seemed like there was a lid on it after that.
Nice cut inside, but look at the rejection there from Tate.
You know, Homewood-Flossmoor is just so long underneath the basket. You're going to see nice open look. That they rotated the ball. That's what they need to do more.
And Tate showed he can hit from outside or inside. There he comes up with a big offensive board. Keep it alive. What do they get? 4 tries here? 3-4 tries?
3 or 4 tries, and they're very athletic underneath the basket.
Another block by Tate. It's been tough inside for Moline.
Nice left-handed lean by Nussbaum on that drive.
But a nice follow on the break. McCorkle taking nothing for granted as Young had to step on everybody. Now with the head coach of the Maroons, here is our colleague Lee Hall.
All right, Tom, we're with Frank Dexter. Coach, not a lot of offense for either team there in the first half.
Well, overall defensive, we didn't do bad. We got to rebound better, not only on the defensive end, but offensively. We got 1 offensive rebound. You don't win games. You got to get some putbacks. We're having trouble getting into an offense, and we bog down. We have trouble turning the corner. Guy bumps us, and we kind of quit trying to get in there. We got to do that better. Got to run some offense. So if we don't run any offense, you know, you can't win. I mean, we got guys taking shots that we most generally don't take. I got a guy shot 2 threes, and he's only shot about a half a dozen all year. So it's a mystery sometimes.
All right, Coach. Good luck to you second half. We'll be back with second half action after this network break.
Here we go as we start quarter number 3, a 9-point lead for Homewood-Flossmoor. The Maroons will start it off with the alternate possession, and here we go. Both these teams in search of their first ever state championship for their respective schools. McCorkle's pass stolen. Here come the Vikings on the break, but Julian Wright's pass went airmailed all the way out of bounds, and the Maroons will get it right back.
You know, Moline has 16 minutes to get 9 points back. That's plenty of time. They got to remember there's no 9-point baskets. Take it slow, run their offense.
McCorkle down inside, draws the foul, and maybe that's what they're going to have to do. Get that ball inside and force the Viking defenders to commit, maybe reach in, draw the foul.
You know, they've been shooting it so quickly they haven't allowed themselves an opportunity to ball fake, try to draw a foul. That's what he did on that play right there, and he's at the free throw line.
Barnes got the foul. Wesley McCorkle, 70% free throw shooter on the season, and the first one's no good. McCorkle, according to Coach Frank Dexter, didn't have the greatest game in the super sectionals, and his pattern this year has been bad game followed by good game. He's now got 8 to lead the Maroons, and they trail by 8.
Moline out and a man-to-man to start the second half.
Inside to Tate. McCorkle tried to rip it away, and it's going to be a held ball. Nope, we're going to get a foul. Check that. It's going to be the foul on McCorkle, his first. So Nussbaum will put it in bounds. Just over 30 seconds gone in the third quarter. The winner will meet either West Aurora or Hoffman Estates in the second semi tomorrow. Tate can't get clear. Good defense there by Lassick away from the basket. But now Lassick quickly gets back down inside. Excel Hardy. Barnes swings it over. Nussbaum, the baseline shut off by Byer. In the lane, Tate, the left-hander, bounces. No. And coming out of there with it was Salmonson. Then a reach-in foul. And those are the kind of fouls that can quickly start adding up on you, the fouls that really aren't necessary.
No, the only thing it did is it saved the basket, and I don't think he knew that was going to happen, but the result was they didn't get their fast break. But you're right, Tom, those kind of silly fouls away from the basket.
Tate got his second foul. 2 team fouls in the half for the Vikings. They try to trap McCorkle. That's a tough thing to do even with 2 players as quick as he is. The pass out front nearly stolen, but Yount keeps it alive. McCorkle over to Byer. 3-pointer was blocked by Nussbaum, and he couldn't save it. It'll go back to the Maroons. A 3-point shot blocked by Nussbaum.
And Nussbaum's got some good hops, anticipated that well. You know, Frank Dexter talked right at the end of, right before we started the second half about not being able to turn the corner. Homewood-Flossmoor has done a great job of stepping out when they run their high screen offense and keeping the ball out of the paint.
Moline trying to bring home a trophy for the first time since 1951 from the state tournament. McCorkle back out to Byer. That is a good omen for the Maroons. Byer gets on the board with a 3.
That play got set up by the penetration by McCorkle, drew the defenders there, and then kicked it out for an open look.
Hardy can't answer, and it's going to be a foul under the board in the battle for the rebound on the Vikings. And looks like perhaps Cyrus Tate might have gotten his third. Yeah, he just got his third.
Well, you don't like to lose a player like him if you're Condati, but one of the advantages, I think, Homewood-Flossmoor, a little bit more depth inside, so they'll play some minutes without him. And Tim Johnson did a nice job in his minutes in the first half.
In fact, Johnson has been quoted as saying, when Cyrus gets in trouble, then it's my turn and my role to come in and take over for him. Now Nussbaum just picked up the fouls. 4 team fouls now on the Vikings here in the quarter.
Tom, that was an uncharacteristic defensive mistake. Instead of reaching with his ball side hand, he reached with his backhand and brought his body into him. It's one of the things coaches work on all the time.
And sometimes when you have a bigger lead, you kind of feel you can get away with that. Offensive battle. Lassick keeps it alive. Out to McCorkle. Now Yount. Tell you what, Moline's had to earn everything, though. Yes! Another big 3 for the sophomore, Paul Byer. He's got 6. He's a 40% 3-point shooter on the year, and suddenly it's a 2-point game, folks.
Tom, again, dribble penetration. They didn't allow any of it in the first half. 2 dribble penetrations, 2 3-point baskets in this quarter.
Here is Hardy, and he's missed on a couple of 3-pointer attempts. And quickly to the basketball was McCorkle, and he took a pretty good shot to the head after coming up with the basketball. McCorkle driving against Barnes. Inside, though, unable to save it on the baseline was Johnson, and it'll be Moline basketball. We have a timeout on the floor with just under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's a 2-point game. This IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Country Insurance and Financial Services. Real people, real answers, real quick. And by Chevrolet. Stop by and see your local Chicago, Northwest Indiana, or Central Illinois Chevy dealer today. Back with more from Peoria after we hear from our network sponsors.
And we're back at Carver Arena, Homewood-Flossmoor, the 20-18 lead here in the second quarter. Now, Mr. O'Boy usually likes us to be impartial reporters, but his niece, Erin Schutz, is not impartial. She's on the crew. Who are you rooting for?
HF, most definitely.
Now, they haven't expelled you yet?
Not yet, and hopefully not after this.
Why are the Vikings going to win here tonight, honey?
You know what? They're normally great dropping shots, and they're shooting 28% right now. They'll get their rhythm in.
What exactly is it you're doing? You're doing a lot of your uncle's business here, sitting.
Yeah. Well, normally I'm the graphics producer and Chiron assist. But
Aaron says HF is #1, guys.
That's right.
Back to you, Tommy.
If they win, there may be pandemonium at courtside or next to me. Here's McCorkle. Yes!
Well, they've come alive in a big result, giving up lanes to the basket, drawing help side defenders, and then kicking out for the threes. And now that basket looks about the size of a garbage can.
Missing as Hardy's 0 for 3 in this quarter. It's out of bounds to Moline as the Maroons have scored the first 10 points of this third quarter. And that'll bring Mitchell Hayes in off the bench. You take a look at Wesley McCorkle. His dad played at Rock Island, was a pretty good basketball player there. Well, we mentioned that McCorkle usually follows a bad game with a good game, and he's coming through thus far 11, and he averages 16.5 a game. Foul out on the move against Homewood-Flossmoor, and that's going to go on Freddie Barnes, who gets his second. Already 5 team fouls on the Vikings in the second half.
Just kind of lulled him to sleep with that dribble, and then exploded behind him and past him, couldn't do anything but grab.
So the Maroons have it back again. McCorkle has it down low. Forced up by Salmonson, but he walked with a basketball, trying to get open against the double team, and the Vikings get it back. It's a 1-point lead. At halftime, Homewood-Flossmoor led by 9. The Vikings have yet to score in the third quarter. And just a little reach-in right there broke up the concentration of Julian Wright, and he lost it out of bounds.
You know, Tom, I don't think they've had any really good looks at the basket either. They've had a couple in the paint, but they were both in crowds.
As you see in the corner of your screen, we're under 3.5 minutes for the quarter. He's found the touch. Paul Byer, 3 buckets all in this quarter, all 8 of his points. And a timeout Homewood-Flossmoor as the Maroons, suddenly a completely different team in this quarter, Bill. They've outscored them 12-0 to start the half.
Yeah, they're just shooting the ball with more confidence, running their offense, getting the ball into the paint. You can see here just a little step, too wide open.
You know, defensively, you know that kid can shoot. He's shown it with a couple of 3-pointers, and they gave him a lot of room to work with. And they thought perhaps when he got inside the arc he was going to kick it off, but he didn't. He's got a nice touch.
Yeah, he does, and we know that they have several shooters that can put the ball in the basket.
All right, don't forget, coming up tomorrow at 11, the 3-point showdown. 4 seniors, Doug Suarez from LaSalle, Peru, Martin Pizanin from Antioch, Jared Bailey from Argo, and Jeremy Monihune from Schaumburg. Some good programs. Slam dunk contest featuring L.C. Robinson from Rockford, De'Aaron Williams from Peoria, Arturo Gardner from Hyde Park, and Demetrius Evans from Von Steuben. There's some pretty good programs represented there, too, in the slam dunk contest tomorrow here from Carver Arena. Well, I think now, if you ask a Moline fan, they might believe the sun will come up tomorrow. They were wondering there in the first half.
Well, you know, I think Homewood-Flossmoor did such a good job defensively shutting off the lanes to the basket. I think they got a little bit greedy to start this quarter. Rather than keeping in front of the ball, they went for steals. When they didn't get the ball, which they didn't, they gave up the lanes. And then, you know, making baskets is sometimes like an avalanche. You hit the first one, and then they all start to come.
So the timeout by the Vikings, and so Julian Wright will put it back into play. 3:05 remaining, and suddenly Moline a 3-point lead after trailing by 9 at the intermission. Nussbaum kicks it off on the wing. Mitchell Hayes hitting a three-pointer, just his 4th of the year. And he's got 5. Lassett's shot is blocked, and coming away with it was Mitchell Hayes.
Coach Condotti went to a full court zone press after that basket just to give him a different look at. Moline did a great job of breaking the press and getting a good shot, but just an athletic block.
Missing on the outside shot is Barnes. It's out of bounds to Moline. One other very interesting statistic thus far, the leading scorer for the Vikings, Excel Hardy, has not scored yet in this contest. And yet Roy Condotti talks about the balance, and right now that balance had him in the lead. But now suddenly they trail. Here's Byer, rim short, and the rebound to Freddie Barnes. Pushing it up ahead to Nussbaum as he works against Salmonson. And a whistle away from the basketball, and looks like that foul is going to be on Lassick.
You know, it'll be interesting to see if Lassick and Samuelson can keep up with that pace. They don't have a real deep bench inside.
The foul was on Yount instead of Lassick. 2 team fouls in this half for Moline. 5 team fouls thus far in this half for Homewood-Flossmoor, the Vikings with the basketball, as we near 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Tie game at 23. The winner goes on, the loser goes home. Tipped right to the hands of Yount.
Threw that ball to the wrong side. He should have thrown it to the left hand where Nussbaum could have sealed his man.
That huge edge that you sense that Homewood-Flossmoor had in the first half has completely evaporated. Emotionally, McCorkle got it blocked, got it back, and the scramble for the basketball with Barnes. He tips it over to Mitchell Hayes. Excel Hardy ahead to Nussbaum, who lays it in with the left hand off the break.
Just a great pass underneath and a nice strong move to avoid contact and score the layup.
Salmonson got it out of trouble. Yount had it. And it's stolen away, and the foul will go to Excel Hardy. His first and the 6th now on Homewood-Flossmoor. The next one puts the Maroons into the bonus.
You know, and Moline's a pretty good free throw shooting team. That could come up big before this game is overtime.
Maroons have it, trailing by 2. Wesley McCorkle back out front with the basketball. You know, McCorkle's been to the Elite 8 twice, and in his whole career has lost only 2 conference games. He takes it all the way and ties it up at 25. McCorkle with 13.
Just a nice little spin, changed hands in the air.
Nussbaum takes it inside. He collides inside there with McCorkle. And the foul is going to go on Paul Byer. 3rd on Moline. Byer gets his 2nd. And then I have that reversed. Yeah, it is on Byer. And so Nussbaum will put it in bounds. Tie game at 25, and coming off the bench now for the Maroons, 6-foot junior Kevin Ryan, who averages 4 points a game, and he's going to give a breather to Paul Byer. Frank Dexter wants to make sure Byer's fresh for the 4th quarter run.
Well, you know, shooters sometimes start losing their legs. You don't want that to happen.
41 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Freddie Barnes, the 6'1 junior. And the Vikings are going to go for the last shot. and try to take the lead into the fourth quarter. Julian Wright has been held scoreless in this third quarter. And he's been held to just 8 points in the contest. Here's Nussbaum for three. Rimming short. Rebound. McCorkle from midcourt. He shot a little early. Still 1/10 of a second left. He lost track of the time, forced it up. He still had at least perhaps another second to take it a little deeper into the front court. Well, we will go to the fourth quarter, tied 25-25 here in Peoria. This IHSA broadcast is brought to you by Apt Electronics and Appliances. For the largest selection of electronics and appliances at the best possible price, visit Apt in Glenview. Let's hear now from your local stations.
And welcome back to Carver Arena in downtown Peoria. Moline tied with Homewood-Flossmoor 25-25, and we're in the Maroons crowd. There we are. Hey, you guys got your own shirts made up. We're on camera right over here. What's Motown Balaz?
It's Motown Ballas!
Oh, Motown Ballas.
Weasel!
They've come up with a new nickname for me. Can you hear it?
Weasel! Weasel! Weasel!
Weasel. They think I'm a weasel. And they couldn't be more right. Back to you guys.
I was about to say, they've watched our work before.
Well, Homewood-Flossmoor needs a good start. They finished that quarter with 4 turnovers and 5 points. Certainly not the kind of effort that they expected coming out of the half.
And they were 2 for 8 from the field in the quarter, while Moline was 5 for 12. There's a shot block. Salmonson comes up with it, but he lost it. Taken away by Julian Wright. Oh, a little behind the back move, and then a reach and foul out of frustration. And it looks to be on Salmonson.
That's about the second or third time Wright has used his long arms to just kind of reach over and take the ball away from someone. He does it very well.
Samuelson, his first 4th team foul in the second half for Moline. We're tied at 25 and just about 30 seconds gone here in the final quarter.
Moline has done a great job defensively in the second half with their man-to-man. They haven't given Homewood-Flossmoor anything easy.
On the move inside, a reach-in foul against Moline. Yet you kind of felt in the first half by going to the zone, Moline was almost conceding a little bit, conceding that height disadvantage.
Yeah, definitely they were slow rotation, and they tried to, to make Homewood-Flossmoor shoot from the perimeter. Right now, they're just doing a great job defensively, making Homewood-Flossmoor work for everything they get.
5 team fouls on Moline. Down low, Tate missed it, and a weak side rebound pulled out of there by Yount. Justin Yount pushing it up ahead. Meyer inside for Salmonson. He tried to knock it out of bounds, but instead it went right to the hands of the Vikings. A minute gone in the final quarter, and we're still deadlocked. Neither team has scored yet in this fourth period. Julian Wright from outside, hitting a 3. He's got 11. That is his 3rd three-pointer of the game.
They're back in that full court zone press.
But there's a guy that can break it, McCorkle. Salmonson inside.
Did a nice job of breaking that zone press. Samuelson kept his body crouched and then jumped after the defenders took that little head fake from him.
Give that last bucket to McCorkle, who's got 15. A steal by Lassick. And it's like a totally different Moline team in the second half.
Yeah, they're much more aggressive. McCorkle doubled down on that, stripped the ball loose. They just have a lot more energy.
They trail by 3. McCorkle, the whirling one-hander, off the glass too hard. And the rebound controlled by Freddie Barnes of the Vikings. Vikings with the ball in a 3-point lead. They led by 9 at halftime. A lead that evaporated quickly as Moline scored the first 12 points of the third quarter. Hardy on the drive, got himself open and got the bounce. His first points of the game with 5:30 left to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that'll be big on a deflection.
And Hardy trying to go for back-to-back buckets. Right, the superior wingspan got it away from Yount. Ahead to Hardy, tried to draw the foul. They let him play, and it's out of bounds to Moline.
You know, right there, Homewood-Flossmoor did a nice job. He had 3 or 4 looks, just couldn't get it to go down. That can frustrate a team. They need to just gather themselves, keep their poise.
Still a 3-point lead. 30-27. They try to trap McCorkle. Now Byer gets it over to Yount. Off the hands, a little too hard for Lassick. And he turns it over. Tate walked with it, tried to alter his step, and instead took steps. We've got a timeout on the floor. 4:49 remaining. Homewood-Flossmoor leads by 3 as we hear from our network sponsors. Time slipping away. 4:49 remaining. And Homewood-Flossmoor the 3-point lead earlier today. Advancing to the semis, Carbondale and defending champion Peoria. And still to come tonight, West Aurora and Hoffman Estates. Dave Bernhardt, Mark Linda will have the call of that game. Winner of this game meets the winner of that game in semifinal game number 2 tomorrow. Well, this game, Bill, has become just about everything we thought it would be. It just took a little detour to get here.
Yeah, you're right, and the intensity has really picked up.
Wesley McCorkle looked there for Byers, knocked out of bounds. A little contact, too, with Barnes. But they're letting him play right now.
Yeah, I think it's been just a very hotly contested second half. Both teams are getting a little bit more physical. What Moline wants to do right now is just get a good look at the basket.
Nice follow inside by Salmonson as the whirling dervish from McCorkle almost went in, but Salmonson getting his first 2 on a big offensive rebound, a 1-point game.
You know, he's had a little bad luck this game. That was a big basket for him and certainly for Moline.
There's no doubt Moline's got its confidence back. And Homewood-Flossmoor's, after getting shaken there, starting to regain their confidence. Here's Julian Wright spinning it in. It's a long 2-pointer. He's got 13.
That was a huge basket. Back to that full court pressure.
Wright, by the way, with 5 points so far in this fourth quarter, and he's over his average. The average is under 10 of the game. Here is Justin Yount. They left him open, and he made him pay. He gets his first 2. And a 32-31 lead for the Vikings. 3.5 minutes left to go.
That was one of the few times Homewood-Flossmoor really lost their poise on defense. Just couldn't find their men.
Excel Hardy. Only 2 points in the game for their leading scorer. Now Nussbaum. And out to the point in Freddie Barnes. Tate from the corner. Nice move right. Oh, what a great block by Lassick. And then in the aftermath of that block, a foul is called. Wow, that's a great block there by Lassick.
Everything about that play was good. Big time move by Julian Wright going to the basket, and then an excellent block from the backside by Lassick.
Foul number 6 on Moline. Both teams with 6. And the Maroons have taken a timeout. Timeout on the floor. 2:56 remaining in a 1-point ball game as we hear from our network sponsors. We've got 2:56 remaining in a 1-point ball game. You want to find out the latest that's happening around the IHSA. Use the same resource that we use in our game preparation. Find out what's happening in any of the boys and girls sports. sponsored and run by the IHSA. Go right there in cyberspace to www.ihsa.org. #1 website when you're trying to find what's happening in Illinois high school sports. As we come back to action, Julian Wright will be at the free throw line. And he'll be getting 2, and the first one is good. He's 1 for 2 from the line. But again, free throw shooting, not really his forte. Came into the game 40 of 80 on the year.
Yeah, that's about a 500 if my math is correct.
You haven't lost a touch, Bill.
He hasn't either. Those are 2 big free throws.
He's got 15 and a 3-point lead at 34-31. Here's Wesley McCorkle. Both teams, by the way, now are in the bonus. Byer. I guarantee you he'll be drawing attention every time he gets the basketball. Knocked around and taken away by Julian Wright. That could be a costly turnover. We're under 2.5 minutes, but they turn it over right back. The steal by Young. They had the numbers. Here's McCorkle. Too strong, and the rebound went right by the follow of Salmonson.
That's a big basket that didn't go down.
Big opportunity missed there by the Maroons. Just over 2 minutes remaining in somebody's season here. 34-31.
Let's see if they're going to run a little clock now. 3-point lead.
You know, back in our day, 3-point lead seemed a lot more comfortable, but now the 3-point shot is so much of a factor.
Absolutely.
They could get somebody back in a hurry, as it got Moline back in this game when they outscored Homewood-Flossmoor 12-0 to start the third quarter.
You know, Julian Wright here with that size and everything makes it so difficult to defend when they're holding the ball like this.
And again, folks, no shot clock. If they want, they can hold it for a minute 17.
Yeah, they're going to probably take a foul here pretty quick. Put them on the line, see if they can make free throws.
And there it is. Byer, the reach and foul on Nussbaum, who is a 72% free throw shooter, a little better than average on this Homewood-Flossmoor team that shoots 69% as a team.
Well,
Byer just got his fourth, by the way.
Yeah, that could be big if it goes into any kind of an overtime situation. This is where coaches start looking at number of possessions. This first free throw obviously is big.
And he'll get the bonus. Nussbaum now with 5 as he scores for the first time in this quarter. Nussbaum, who works with autistic kids at a summer camp in the south suburbs, gets both free throws.
2 big free throws.
5-point lead, under a minute. Here's Jounce. Over to McCorkle. McCorkle leading them with 15 points tonight. He overran the ball, taken away by Barnes, and it's going to be an intentional foul called against McCorkle as he brought Barnes down to the deck.
I don't think he meant to hurt him in any way. I just think he wanted to take a foul. When he lost the ball, he knew that he had to stop the play, and what he did is just kind of went for the ball and went through the man. Not a bad open field tackle if you're a football player.
So they'll get 2 free throws from Freddie Barnes and possession. And Barnes misses the free throw. He is 64% from the line. This is his first trip to the line in this ball game.
48 seconds with 2 timeouts left, Tom, is almost like all the time in the world. Homewood-Flossmoor wants to take a few more seconds off the clock. If you're Moline, you got to take a quick foul and then put them back on the line. Hope they don't make it.
Sneaking in the backside, cutting in was Hardy. He got the great bullet pass, and he has just his second bucket of the game.
That was well executed. He caught him leaning and broke hard to the basket.
McCorkle for 3. Count it. They're not gone yet. 18 points for McCorkle. He nails the three and pulls them within 5. A huge bucket there for McCorkle. Let's go back and relive that last series from end to end.
Look at that out-of-bounds play. Caught him leaning the wrong way, strong to the basket, and then we come down and just he pulls up and hits a big three. He's hit 2 or 3 big threes from that same spot today.
We're in the Homewood Flossmoor huddle right now.
Come back. Next, come to the ball now, okay? Remember now, you catch the ball up, face up, let's make sure you don't turn your back on the guy now, let him reach in. You're going to get fouled, make sure the referee sees it, okay?
Let's take it now over to the Moline huddle.
Kevin, stay right here. You go trap right away. First pass, it goes here or here, go trap.
Hey, listen to me now. Listen, the ball gets out of the trap, we're going to foul that guy. Yeah. Okay? If we don't get a steal out of the trap, get the next guy foul.
You got to get, if the ball comes out of there, you got to foul. Hey, all we can do is go, hey, 7 seconds, we got to, hey, that's the most time off the clock. 7 seconds, then you got to foul. No intentional. Hey, if we score, we want timeout.
Let's reset the game with 35.7 seconds remaining. A 5-point ball game. Homewood Flossmoor, 2 timeouts remaining. Moline has 1. Possession error right now for the Maroons. And the foul situation, both are in the bonus. Nobody yet in the double bonus. Well, you heard Frank Dexter say the most time you can let off the clock here is 7 seconds before you foul.
Well, they're going to look to steal the ball before they have to foul. They're going to do that by trying to keep the ball in front of them and trap it in one of the corners.
Julian Wright will inbounds as he gets it into Tate. Tate double teamed, and the foul will be called on Moline's John Hammer.
One of those cases, Tom, where both teams did exactly what they were told to do, the way they were told to do it. Tate was very strong with the ball, made sure that the officials could see him getting fouled.
Now Lassick comes back in replacing Hammer. Hammer used there in the situation. He had no fouls, had not played in the game. So you get a free foul there without hurting one of your starters in terms of foul trouble. Here's Cyrus Tate. Was held scoreless through 3 quarters in the Supers against Thornridge, and he missed the free throw there, but an offensive rebound for Julian Wright. And a reach-in foul on McCorkle.
You know, as a coach, you just hate when you give the ball back on a free throw situation. That took a really funny bounce for him. I felt a little bad. You have to make contact and you have to get space when you're giving up as many inches as Salmison is.
Now they're in the double bonus. 2 free throws. The foul on McCorkle was his 3rd. Freddie Barnes hits the free throw. He's 2 of 3 from the line. And he's right at about his average. He averages 5.6 a game, and now he's got 6 in the contest. And it's a 6-point lead. This makes it a 3-possession game now. At 7 points the margin, 28.7 seconds left. Yount dribbled it off his foot, and it was taken away by Excel Hardy. Hardy on the break, hammered from behind by Lassick. Also in there was Salmonson. Last time Moline brought home a trophy, in other words, finished 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, it's been 53 years. Let's hear some of the sounds of this game. And remember, the floors aren't padded. It's not like in a wrestling room.
No, we've had a couple of tough spills, and that was one of them.
Excel Hardy missing the free throw. Again, Hardy right now 11 points under his average. Checking in now for Moline is Jamie Hallstrom, number 12, a 6'4" senior. He'll come in replacing Lassick. Lassick leaves with only 2 points in the ball game.
You know what? He was a ton underneath the basket. He really did a yeoman's job keeping Homewood Flossmoor's big men under control.
3 rebounds in the game for Lassick. Only 1 foul while doing that defensively, and that's to his credit.
You know, he had a couple big blocks, and he also altered a number of shots.
Going for the collar there was Hardy. Here is McCorkle, an NBA three that missed wildly, and the rebound. Under 10 seconds, Julian Wright. And looks like Homewood-Flossmoor's going to the semifinals. They'll run out the clock, and the dry spell for Moline of not winning a quarterfinal game now goes 53 years, since 1951. A gallant comeback by the Maroons.
Oh, absolutely. They played just a phenomenal third quarter. And a lot of times games this close come down to a couple sequences, and I think that's what happened here.
Moline's 19-game winning streak comes to an end. Moline 28-3. Homewood-Flossmoor wins its 30th game of the year, 30-2 on the season as both teams congratulate each other. And let's go over now to Lee Hall, who's got a victory as head coach Roy Condotti.
All right, Tom, thanks a lot. With Roy Condotti. Coach, boy, it looked like Moline was coming at you with everything they had there in the third quarter. Your guys answered.
Well, they're 28-2, and we knew they'd be back. We just hit that dry spell at the beginning of the third quarter and really had to reach back and not, keep our composure in order to win the game. But the name of the game is play tomorrow, and that's what we're going to do.
Tell me about the play of Julian Wright tonight, our player of the game.
Julian just steps up when it's prime time. He did a great job for us in the second half. He's tough to defend out on the perimeter. Hit the 2 free throws when we really needed him there at the end, but and the rebound there to seal the game. Julian's a special player, and he played a great game for us today.
A lot of years at Westinghouse. Now you're going as a head coach to the Final Four here. Tell me your feelings right now.
It feels just as good as it did the last couple of times. That's what you play the whole season for, to try to get to this point. You need a special group of kids, and you have to be a little lucky, and you have to be good too. So I think we deserve to be here along with the other teams that are going to be here with us.
Good luck to you tomorrow, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Julian Wright is our Country Insurance player of the game. Congratulations. Moline really came at you guys in the third quarter, yet you guys were able to answer.
Yeah, we tried to match their intensity in the second half. We knew they had some shooters, capable shooters, and they were going to hit a lot of threes. So we just wanted to match their intensity in the second half and keep our composure and come out and execute offense and hit our free throws. That would be the biggest thing.
We have you for 15 points. Tell me about the defensive intensity you guys put up there. You guys 3 block shots there in the first half. You guys were really hopping then.
Yeah, well, we had a few lapses on defense. Gave them confidence, and we just tried to balance that by attacking their zone and just trying to make simpler shots and easier passes to win the game.
All right, Julian Wright, our Country Insurance player of the game. Good luck. All right, back to you, Tom.
All right, Lee, thank you very much. Our play of the game brought to you by Apt Electronics. That backdoor cut off the inbounds play. The lay-in by Excel Hardy. That gave them an 8-point margin, and the final margin was 7 at 41-34. And again, down by 9 at halftime. Moline gave them both barrels, but sometimes a comeback effort, Bill, can wear out a team a little bit too.
I think it took them a while to get their range offensively, but then when they got it, it just generated all kinds of enthusiasm defensively as well.
All right, coming up, our final quarterfinal game, West Aurora and Hoffman Estates with Dave Bernhardt and Mark Lindo. We'll be seeing you tomorrow with semifinal game number 1. Again, the final score, Homewood-Flossmoor wins it. We hear now from your local sponsors.